Welcome to this edition of Resource PNG. Tonight's program features an interview with the Country Manager of Newcrest Mining Limited, Peter Aitzi, and the General Manager of Lihir Gold Operations, Newcrest Mining, Carl Spalek. In the wake of the recent commodity price fall, we find out what cost-cutting measures Newcrest is planning on taking. In this interview, Peter Aitzi explains. Hello, Mr. Aitzi. Thank you for joining us on the show.
Thank you for having us, Antonia.
In the wake of the recent commodity price fall, Harmony Gold's plan was to cut on capital expenditure. What cost-cutting measures is Newcrest planning on taking?
As you're probably aware, the global market is going through some corrections at the moment, some difficult times. Newcrest as an operator is well placed. Our portfolio of assets are mainly low-cost, long-life mines. So on that basis, I mean, we're well placed to try and review our operations in line with those changing conditions. So along with our partners, we're reviewing our operations, particularly at Hidden Valley and Lihir, and looking at how we can improve the efficiencies of those operations to ensure that we stay within the current market conditions. So that's the approach we're taking.
Speaking of the commodity price drop, how low can the price of gold go?
Well, that's good. I think if we could plot that, I think there'll be a lot of people making a lot of money. But look, based on the trends, we saw it over the last month dip to as low as $1,300 US. Some commentators are saying that I think it's a correction of the market from the highs of $1,900 US per ounce. Those same commentators are indicating the range I think that it'll settle in will be around about $1,300 US to about $1,500 US. And that should be the range that it sort of sits within for the coming sort of midterm mark.
Australia's resource boom is slowing down. Companies are resizing and cutting costs. Do you predict that PNG will tread a similar path? And what's the situation in PNG's resource sector?
Right. Look, I think as the comments made by our outgoing president of the chamber, clearly PNG's resource companies are responding to this global change. And so from their perspective, they need to look at their operations within country, and given the fluctuations within the commodity market, they need to react to those. And so really for the good operators, they need to ensure that they get greater efficiencies, perhaps rationalise some of their operations to ensure that they remain viable through this dip in the market. And so that's the impact that companies operating in PNG will have to deal with. So very much similar to what Australia is going through.
Recent reports suggest that production at Hidden Valley Mine has been low and costly. What are the plans in place to improve production?
Well, I think one of the first things is that the joint venture partners have appointed an acting CEO to provide some direct management to the team at MMJV, and working through the acting CEO and the management team really try and improve the operations of Hidden Valley. And as I mentioned, given the price of gold at the moment, it's important that we get back to the basics, the core of the business. And so strip away some of the waste and just get to the core of the business and allow it to focus into a steady production cycle.
Speaking of the Hidden Valley Mine, it was referred to as a responsible mine by the Minister for Environment and Conservation, John Pundari, because he was impressed with the mine's tailings storage facility. Can you tell us a bit about this storage facility and how it's different from others?
Okay, look, Hidden Valley has probably got the PNG's only engineered tailings storage facility, and rightfully, as acknowledged by Mr. Pundari, it is a unique facility for the mine. Hidden Valley places a lot of effort into ensuring that the management of the environment around the mine itself is effectively monitored. That monitoring takes place with close consultation with the Department of Environment and Conservation, as well as the communities around the mine area as well. We have regular visits by the community to the site, and they come in and are taken through a tour of the site and its operations, and particularly the tailings storage facility as well. The communities also assist with water monitoring down along the various rivers, and so it's a way to ensure that that we keep a good control over the environment, and working with our Department of Environment and Conservation, we make sure that those environmental matters are managed properly.
Can you give us an update on projects that you have in line?
Okay. Well, probably a couple of key things that we're focusing on, and two of them are related to our operations and the other to the community benefits that come out of those operations. We've just completed the major portion of investment at Lihir, and now that expansion of that plant is now operational, and it's come online, and it's operating to the expected levels that we had anticipated. So our focus now is on making sure our operations in Lihir are consistent, are steady and reliable, and the focus there is on really getting a consistent flow of production coming out of that plant. So that's really the target for us here on. In Hidden Valley, it's once again through the changing management of that of the site and the operations there to try and build some consistency of operations and hopefully increase the reliability of the production coming out of Hidden Valley. On the benefits side, we are engaged at the moment with the various stakeholders that fall underneath the benefit streams out of the Lihir gold mine. And so over the last year we've been engaged with our stakeholders to try and to review the existing agreements with a view to try and arrive at a fair and equitable arrangement that can underpin the operations of our mine. The objective for all stakeholders is to ensure that we have a consistent and a sustained production at Lihir Gold in order for us to be able to return the kind of benefits or continue to return the kind of benefits that's enjoyed by all stakeholders. Those stakeholders are the state of Papua New Guinea, the New Ireland provincial government, the local landowners represented by Lamala, and the local level government represented on Lihir. So all very important stakeholders to our business.
Indeed. Mr. Aitsi, thank you very much for your time. It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Thank you for the opportunity, Antonia.
We'll be back with more after the break. Welcome back to the show. We continue with Peter Aitsi in a separate interview with Eunice Taumamoa.
Lihir Gold Mine has a really good record in terms of lost time injury, and I believe you're working towards getting it down to 0 by 2013. What's the company's approach to safety in the workplace? Okay.
Look, safety is a very high priority for the Lihir Gold Mine, as it is with all Newcrest operations. Lihir is a subsidiary of Newcrest. In Lihir, they take a special approach to safety, and what they've done is they've tried to personalise the issue, this approach to safety, and they use a program called the 0-3. 0 meaning 0 injuries, 3 meaning the 3 reasons why a person needs to be aware of their surroundings as they work. And those 3 items are generally personal items for them, or the personal issues for them that they feel very strongly that are important for them and they feel strongly about. Generally a person will select their family, perhaps it could be perhaps their home or something else that is important to them, or their relatives or somebody else that is important to them, so that when they're working, their mind is always on those 3 things, so that they conduct themselves safely in their work, and which allows them to go home to these 3 things.
Landowners stop work, basically said that asked the company to stop work. That's a major issue for most mining companies, mining projects. How do you plan on approaching landowner issues from here on in? Because I mean, the mining operations start again.
Landowners are very much an integral part of all these operations, and the expectations within these landowners are always there, and it's about organisations that are committed to these communities, how they manage the relationship with the landowners. Now, in most cases, you can deal with disputes or conflicts as they arise. Some instances, it gets to a point where perhaps the other party feel that they need to take action, which then leads to a stoppage of the mine. At Lihir, we have a very good relationship with our landowners, and perhaps the last dispute has arisen because of a number of number of issues that sit within the landowner group, and as a result, the operator is brought in, has been affected as a result. We've worked with Lamala, the representatives of the landowners, to try and overcome some of these issues, Going forward, we will work within what we call the Lihir Agreements Review, which is the mechanism whereby which the parties will work through to review the agreements that bind these various parties together. So going forward, it'll be underneath this Lihir Agreements and the review that's taking place, which will then guide the relationship going forward. The relationship with the landowners is now some 18 years old, so it's not just overnight. I mean, the community in Lihir has lived and worked and supported the mine for the last 18 years. And we know that through the LAR we'll have a mechanism that will hold this relationship in good stead going forward.
Right. So you've been in Lihir for 18 years. Obviously there's some projects that's been happening in terms of community development. Are you able to talk to us about that, and what exactly are we looking at from here on into the future?
Certainly. The health programs that are run, the medical services that are provided to the Lihiran community. We have recording figures of about 80,000 patients treated a year. Think about that. That represents about 6,000 patients a week. That's a significant, actually probably more than that, I think probably 600 a week. So when you look at those kind of figures, you see the kind of impact it has within the population of Lihir. The other thing that he spoke about was the village development program, which allows for communities to basically be provided housing, and he quoted figures of about 340 new houses that have been built as a result of that program. So these are the type of activities that the company partners with the landowners to implement. I think the other important project or program that's run has been the eradication of yaws within the health program, and that's been very successful, but something that needs to continue to be rolled out through the islands.
We'll have more when we return. The Lihir gold mine uses geothermal energy and is recognized internationally for it. As we continue the interview with Peter Aitzi, we find out how much power is generated, and we hear about the company's approach to safety, landowner issue approaches, and the upgrade of operations and facilities at the mine.
The mine itself has a unique way of generating power. It uses geothermal energy. That's actually had some recognition worldwide for what it does. How much power actually comes from that, and how does it operate? How does it help Lihir with power generation?
Yeah, look, our team was successful and received an award from the UN. I think it's a clean development mechanism. There was an award given by the UN, which the Lihir geothermal plant was recognised for. In terms of the power it generates around about 30 megawatts. Now, remembering that Lihir's total power usage is around about 150 megawatts, right. So this is a small part of that. I must say that the geothermal plant, I mean, we'd like to get more power out of it, but it's very difficult because we aren't able to access steady and consistent flows of steam. So as a result, it can only operate at 30 megawatts at this stage. The capacity of the plant is around about 55 megawatts. So you can see there's a significant capacity gap there still. In terms of its contribution to production, it is a much cheaper option for us, but unfortunately the current resource in terms of the steam isn't consistent enough, isn't stable enough to allow us to operate at full power. But it's really what we call an auxiliary part of our operations. Our main focus is on the production of gold. The geothermal, by virtue of the operating site, because we're on a geothermal field, is really a byproduct there that we harness, and as a result that then contributes to the power production.
Now, the company is also upgrading some of the operations and facilities, and you have a goal that you're trying to make sure you achieve within a certain amount or limit a time period. how much is that whole exercise going to cost? And also, what kind of upgrades are you looking at?
Right. Well, look, I suppose the most important upgrade of current time is our million ounce upgrade, the Mopu project. This project has taken, I think, good part of the last probably 3 years, 2.5 years.
Right.
And the project is really to expand the plant facility that we have, so it'll allow the mine to have the potential to produce up to 1 million ounces of gold. Remembering that significant production levels around any mines of significance are generally around about that 300 to 400 plus ounce mark. Yeah?
Yes.
So when you're talking about a 1 million ounce production level, you're talking about a significant mine. So that's where we want to try and get Lihir to. That 1 million ounce upgrade will be commissioned,
Right.
and we hope over the next through the course of 2013 to start to gradually increase our production levels to a target rate in the next 5 years of 1.4 million ounces of gold per annum.
That's a lot of gold.
It
So
will be.
right now, what's our current output?
Last year was about 650,000 ounces
Right.
of gold. This year, I think we've given a guidance of 700,000 to 900,000 ounces of gold. So that's the target for the 2013 financial year.
Okay. So now that we've covered basically most of the things that we need to cover about Lihir, what's the future like for Lihir Gold Mine?
Well, look, I think Lihir is a significant asset for us, and we, as Newcrest, as the owner of Lihir, as making a commitment to reinvest into the plant. That reinvestment will continue even after Mopu, so that we can bring the plant up to our expected level of efficiency, so that we can get a maximum output from that asset. So the longer term message for Lihir is clearly that this is a mine site which will improve and will continue to sort of deliver the kind of benefits that all stakeholders, including our communities and our shareholders, will have a long-term benefit from.
Thank you, Mr. IC, for your time and telling us what Lihir Gold Mining is up to.
Thank you, Eunice.
And that was the country manager of Lihir Gold Mine Limited, Mr. Peter Eitze.
More to come on the show. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Resource PNG. In this segment, we feature a presentation by the General Manager of Lihir Operations at Newcrest Mining, Carl Spalek. Carl talks about visions and values of Newcrest, social responsibility, safety and sustainability.
So just quickly on our vision. Our vision and values, it's something that every person in Newcrest that works for Newcrest can personalise our vision for themselves. That's the reason why we work for Newcrest and at Lihir. It's not just to be the miner of choice, but also being a responsible miner of choice. Then also, hand in hand with that, social responsibility, safety and sustainability are our guideposts to underpin our vision. And then also we've got our set of values, which is quite close to everyone's heart, and that's our guide day in and day out to live by and to support our vision. So working together for us, caring about our people, caring about each other, act with integrity and honesty, value innovation and problem solving, a big drive for us, and also seeking high performance, not just in ourselves, but also in others. Just quickly today, I'm going to give you a bit of an update on where are we, where's the island of Lihir, a bit of New Ireland province, and then also I'm going to go into safety, community, our environment, and also our people side, and then an overview of the Lihir operations and where we are at the moment with the Mopu upgrade, and our pathway going forward as well. The picture you see there has been taken from our 4th oxygen plant, the air products plant, which is currently in operation. You can see in the foreground the processing plant, and you basically can see the other 3 oxygen plants over there, the autoclave building at the back there, That's the old diesel power station and our new grinding thickness. And then also right at the back there, you can see the big mine. Leah is situated on the island, just northwest of the New Ireland province. And you can see in red marked the current resources of Newcrest mines in Papua New Guinea. So Leah is sitting with a resource of just under 57 million ounces. Wafi currently sitting at 13 million ounces, and then Hidden Valley down there at 3. On the right hand side you can see that's our island, and we're actually mining in one of the extinct volcanoes, the Louise volcano, and then also we've got the Konami volcano and the Unio, which we haven't even done any exploration in there. The mine site village is in the north, part of Londolobit village, and then our Kunai International Airport on the top of the island there. So currently we're mining in Minifie and Linnets pits, with the carpet pit soon to be opened up, and within the next 5 years we'll move into that area. That's just an overview of our paradise. You guys can see the processing plant in the background there. There's the open cut mine, and then also our little town Londolobit, and also the camps where our people live and stay every day. A little bit of history from here. So exploration started in 1982. Big thing, 1995, 1996, the first project approvals was obtained, and also the first integrated benefits package with the Lihir community has been signed off. So every 5 years we go through the process. Currently we're busy with it as well. First gold was produced in 1997, and then up until today we've just produced over 9 million ounces of gold since we started up. The Mopu project is expected to be completed in the December quarter, so we're right on the cusp of bringing the new plant and everything online, and parts of it is already producing as well. Our pathway to safety, to zero harm, we've got a program on site called 03 Tussle. So everyone knows zero safety, zero harm to our people, and what's the most 3 important reasons to be safety, to go home safely, to go home back to your families. So every person on site personalised themselves with it, and everyone carries their 3 reasons, and you can ask them every day, what are the 3 most important things in their lives, whether it's your family, house, or your kids, or something in the future. Another thing which you guys can see there at the bottom, the Lihir team completed, along with other mining companies here today as well, in the second PNG Emergency Response Challenge in November. The challenge is normally organised by the Mineral Resource Authority, and is one of the initiatives of our Chief Inspector of Mines, Mr. Mohan Singh. During this event, the mining companies, and we've also invited all certs this year as well along, came together, and the guys really showcased their skills and their capabilities in emergency response training. For Lihir, it's quite rewarding, especially that both our company and the Lihir community, we've got a 90% Lihirian contingent in our team, and also we had 1 female crew member for the first time as well. So our response team took out a fair few rewards. Best team overall for 2012. We had the best firefighting team, HAZChem team overall, and then also the best team captain, Vinicius Sepak. And also we came home with the best safety song from the safety week. You guys can see our Lihir safety performance is trending down all the time, and on our way to a pathway for the zero harm, and currently we're sitting about just underneath 300 days without a lost time injury. Things going well. We'll hit 0 by the end of June, and we'll try our best to keep it there going forward. So Newcrest is always committed to achieving an excellent standard of environmental performance, including the appropriate management of our mine waste materials. So we've got the deep sea tailings placement. It's been permitted according to the PNG Environmental Act of 2000, and we've been operating successfully for 15 years with no reports of any non-compliance. We do regular and extensive monitoring programs. It's all in place. Also, independent studies is being included by the Australian government's CSIRO, and all these independent studies have verified that no material increase in metal concentrations within our food chain in and around Lihir has happened. So waste rock from the mine is recycled for construction purposes. We use it on our roads and everywhere else around the mine, and then also the remainder we dispose of offshore. So another thing was also our Lihir geothermal plant is the first project in PNG to be registered for carbon credits trading. We also have 3 Lihiran landowner environmental monitoring companies doing the monitoring around the island and also in the plant. So we've got Lihir Environmental Services. They look after all our hydrological work and also the water chemistry sampling. Leighton Limited, they assist with the rehabilitation work and also hydro seeding, freshwater monitoring, and also the megapode tracking. And then Tretre Dive Services, they do all our nearshore sedimentation monitoring work, deployment and retrieval of the oceanographic equipment, and also provide assistance within the operations of the environmental department's boats. You guys can also see the big step change into our environmental performance. So almost for the last 7 years, no significant environmental incidents has occurred at Lihir.
We continue with Carl Spalek when we return. In this part of Carl Spalek's presentation, we hear more about sustainable development.
Moving on to sustainable development. So Lihir has always been committed to the principles of sustainability, local employment, training of the community. Lihir's aggregate contribution to the Papua New Guinean economy since start of the project is in excess of 7 billion kina since our commencement of our operations. But also the Lihir Agreements Review, which includes the integrated benefits package, which forms 2 parts, which is the IBP or the compensation and relocation agreement with the local landowners, and then also the MOA for the state and surrounding areas. So the Lihir agreement first was signed in 1995 and is being reviewed every 5 years. Second review is underway at the moment, and the aim is to assess progress to date and also to ensure that the outcomes addressed our vision for all our stakeholders. The revised agreement will provide a roadmap to achieve long-term sustainability and development for Lihir and our province. Also, the review stakeholders have set a charter for themselves for the agreement, and they're all committed to negotiate and discuss issues in good faith within the review process. That's just a slide on our contribution to the PNG economy for the last year. So you will see a total of 1.2 billion kina for the year, and mostly 44% or 526 million kina, the government. And then also our local level government royalties, around 17 million kina. Maupo landowner contractors, and also purchases. As you can see from the slide, Lihir is quite a significant contributor to the economic activity in PNG and also the New Ireland province. We have a policy of sourcing all our goods and services from PNG where possible. That works out to be around 35 to 40% of our revenue during normal operations. It has been a bit higher in recent years as our capital expenditure for the Maupo project flows through the economy, and we will always continue to look for ways to spend more in PNG as well. Of the remaining revenue, the majority is spent on materials that we cannot source from PNG, mostly include our fuels, steel, reagents, and spare parts to maintain our plant. Newcrest has actually spent more than what it has made in revenue in Lihir over the last 18 months, and since it became involved, and this is a simple fact of the large capital investment required for the Maupo upgrade project, which is costing us around $1.3 billion. We are very confident following the ramp-up of the Maupo over the rest of this financial year that Lihir will still provide good returns to our Newcrest shareholders for their investments and their trust in Lihir, and also a very good return to our other stakeholders, which of course include the landowners and the state government as well. On our Sustainable Development Plan, or the LSDP, that's a homegrown initiative by our landowners themselves, and which is also quite well aligned to the company focus on sustainable development. Just two examples of our services and programs. So you can see there the Lihir Medical Centre. Newcrest is the principal funder for the medical centre, and it's currently managed by ISOS. The medical centre provides vital primary care for the residents of Lihir as well as our mine workers. We have annual patients of around 80,000 people that came for visits to the medical centre. We employ 5 doctors, 28 nurses, 9 health extension officers and 5 community health workers. We also provide dental clinic, a pharmacy, and then also the maternity ward. So other health programs is filariasis, the malaria vector control, and also we're busy with the construction of a new tuberculosis ward at the Lihir Medical Centre. Village Development Scheme. So we built almost 800 houses since 1996, and that takes us up to 117 million aggregate spend under the IBP. And we normally do spend around 20 million kina per year, plus then CPI every year going forward. Other projects we've been working on, community halls, water systems, water infrastructure, basically everything on the island. People, as you can see, 90% of our people is Papua New Guineans, and of the 90%, 33% is local Lihirians. So mostly of our 66% of our workforce is FIFO, fly in, fly out, and then 32% local Lihirian residents, and we've also got a town site which forms about 2% of our workforce. As we all know, finding skilled labour and skilled workers for mining operations in the remote regions can be quite challenging. So the multi-million-dollar Lihir Technical Centre was built to tackle this issue for us, and it was opened in 2008 by Sir Julius Chan. Located at the Londoliver town site, the purpose is to develop skilled trade people, and also this purpose-built facility is designed to deliver not just theoretical training, but also hands-on training for our apprentices and trade assistants in the one location. The centre is also a main employee training facility, and it's used by all of our mining departments, and we conduct all types of development, such as just even the creating our future workshops being held there. We employ around 20 trainers on site at the Lihir Technical Training Centre, and all our centre's training programs have been assessed to comply with the current international industrial training and assessment concepts through the PNG National Training Council and also the National Apprenticeship and Trade Testing Board of the PNG National Department of Labour and Industrial Relations. We've got about 1 trainee or apprentice for every 8 people that works for us, so that's quite a large number of trainees that we're bringing through the process. We've also got the Lihir Resource Centre, which assists around 700 students per year studying through distance educational programs, and there's been a pass rate of about 70% of the students over there. So let's quickly go over to our mine processing operations. This is an aerial photograph of the Louise caldera with the Menifee and Linnets pits. You can see the background of the caldera there. That's Linnets, Menifee, and carpet to the right-hand side, which we still need to develop. You can also see the geothermal plant over there with all the piping infrastructure coming in from the geothermal steam fields. Lihir operations always been a world-class deposit, long life, and also expanding operations at the moment. So our pathway going forward, you can see guidance for FY13 is between 700 to 900 ounces for the year, and then our aim is to within 5 years to be around the 1.2 to 1.3 million ounces producing per year. So this year we're still busy with the Mopu upgrade, and we'll capture some of it, but then going into next year is our time to actually deliver and reach the magical figure of 1 million ounces Our resource still sitting at 56.6 million ounces with a reserve of about 31 million ounces. And just simple maths can tell you guys, we've got anything between 20 to 30 years of mine life ahead of us.
More of the presentation after the break. Welcome back. We continue the presentation with Carl Spalek.
Deliverables for this year. So big thing for us is the million-ounce plant upgrade. As we speak here, we're doing the final tie-ins today in the plant and bringing the oxygen plant online. It's producing oxygen now. We've just commissioned the biggest autoclave in the world about a month and a half ago. And slowly but surely, we're bringing every piece of equipment online, and before the end of the year, we should everything ticking over and starting with ramp up of our productions. We've got the Year Renew program, so that looks at reliability of our older equipment and also redundancy, provides us there with the chances to we can actually don't have to switch the whole plant off. We can refurbish some of our equipment whilst still producing. We need to commence the flotation capacity project upgrade. That's a challenge for us for this year as well, and just on the back end of MOPU, part of it, and bringing online 5 million tonnes of extra flotation to really utilise the low-grade stockpiles. Busy with the autoclave throughput task force and trying to increase our production just through our current equipment by around 20 to 30%. And then also looking at the copper development pre-feasibility study this year. Just some key elements of our operations. So again, 880 million tonnes of gold at 2 grams, a reserve of 31 million ounces. In our ore treatment plant at the moment, we've got a high-grade comminution circuit, which consists of a SAG and a ball mill, and then also same on the low-grade side, another SAG and a ball mill, and the MOPU expansion will bring in another SAG and a ball mill capacity. We've got the 3 current autoclaves, and then with autoclave 4, it's basically just over twice the size of our current autoclaves as well. So pretty big. Power generation, everything comes from our geothermal power, about 30 megawatts, and then the rest is heavy fuel oil power generated on site as well. Just quickly on the processing, we've got dewatering, drill and blast, normal load and haul, crushing through our 2 sets of crushers, and then also through our conveyor system. Going over to the processing plant, first you can see the grinding mills there. After the grinding mills, we'll take some of the material, we'll go through flotation to upgrade our concentrate, goes into the autoclaves, add the oxygen, and then into the neutralization circuit, normal CIL, which then produce gold, and then also the rest goes out to tailings. Mining fleet, 5 face shovels, 1 RH120 excavator, 46 cat tracks at the moment, a few drills, and then the rest is just equipment around the peripheral areas of the mine. A little bit of our MOPU million-ounce upgrade, I've already spoken about it, $1.3 billion. Crusher conveying system we've upgraded, another SAG and ball mill, the 4th autoclave, the oxygen plant, and the NCA circuit as well. So this will give us the opportunity to make 1 million ounces per year, and we're busy as we speak bringing everything online. Construction was the last quarter 97% completed. It's almost 100% now, and then going through commissioning, which is also fairly advanced as well. Where are we now? So we built the new NCA circuit. That's the new grinding circuit there. We call it HGO1, high-grade ore and high-grade ore. And at the back, you can see that's the interim power station, or the barge. Produces about 72 megawatts of power. Heavy fuel storage at the back there, that's been built new. The old autoclave building, and then the brand new one, autoclave 4. And then what you'll see there is the new NCA circuit, and this is where we're busy refurbishing the old NCA circuit at the moment, rebuilding all the tanks, and basically putting all the jewellery back at the moment. just what has been done. New jaw crushing circuit. That's a picture of a new oxygen plant. The autoclave with 2 trains coming out of it. We've already reached our design capacity of 456 tonnes per hour, and we've actually pushed it a little bit harder. It reached almost 500 tonnes per hour for a short period of time, and that's the new NCA circuit as well. The flotation and grinding upgrades, so basically it's just a continuation of our current flotation, giving us the ability to float more low-grade material and bring in all the low-grade stockpiles into the plant. Big thing for us is to upgrade our sulfur and gold feed grades to the autoclave, and also we don't have to build stockpiles, so basically pick it up, use it and move on. So a little bit about the here and new. So with the expansion of the mine, the fleet, so we really need to work a fair bit on our maintenance systems improvement strategy. All the new equipment that's coming on, all the old stuff, the mobile fleet reliability, we need to improve our facilities around that. We used to have 6 bays, so I mean that's only enough to really service a fleet truck of about 25 to 30 trucks, with a now fleet of almost 50. We are running out of space, so that's happening as well. We're looking at all the electrical upgrades for the old equipment as well. Our oxygen plants, motors, upgrading all our hardware inside, and the HV circuits as well. So a fair bit of work that needs to go on and really give us that reliability, a reliable, stable operation going forward. We've done a lot of hard work in that space already, but still a fair bit to go. I would say the next 12 months is going to be crucial for us as well, making sure everything ticks along. So also with the getting deeper into the mine, so we had to improve our dewatering capacity. That's well underway. We can pump now water out of the pit with 9 lines expert. So where 8 meters of water a year was quite a challenge for us. It's almost like part of our day-to-day business now. Also part of the renew process, I spoke about NCA1 circuit, rebuilding all the tanks to Australian standards, making sure we've got new valving, piping, switch gears in. We're looking at our freshwater intake, short-term water supply, giving us some redundancies there as well. And then we've also put in extra power generation to make sure that we won't fall short going forward. So how do we deliver value? So for us, our focus for the next 12 to 24 months is we really need a long-term stable community relations, working with our landowners, working with the community and working with our people. Reliable, predictable performance for our plant and our equipment, really maintaining our production levels where it should be, and then also deliver the Lihir expansion and also improve on that, getting more out of it than we said we will, really drive our costs lower, and then also maintain our long inventory, and that will give us our improved return on capital. And in summary, that will be our focus for the next 12 to 24 months.
That's all we have for tonight on Resource PNG. For any comments or queries, do email us on this address, resourcepng@mtv.com.pg. Or to find out more, check MTV online, that's www.mtv.com.pg. Until the same time next week, good night.